God doesn't make mistakes. If he tells you to go to Romulus or go to Detroit or go to some area where there isn't a church, if God told you that, God's going to take care of you. We have to have pastors with faith. We have to go. We've got to go. Whether the finances are there or not, we're going to go and we're going to get a job and we're going to go ahead and see what God does. He's not going to let us down. The very beginning, when we started this church, it had God's hand on it. It just came to us. We need to start a church. There are so many places that don't have a church. We got to do this. We got to go. The burden overcame the obstacles. We had to go, and we knew it was God calling us. We couldn't get away from it. No matter where we preached, no matter what opportunities we were involved in, we knew we're going to have to start a church. Interesting story with Dirk Taplin. When we came to the area, we were looking for ideas on what could really make a difference, what could be cutting edge to get the attention of the people in the community when we knock doors or we drive by and talk to people. And we came up with a Meet the International Church packet. One day, we were driving through one of the rougher parts of town, and we saw someone standing on the corner, and it was Mr. Dirk Taplin.
I was on the corner, you know, doing what I normally do, just hanging out, and I remember seeing this car, you know, pulling up. And first thing I thought to my mind, like I said, oh, okay, here it goes from, you know, I'm finna make a quick dollar, you know, and it ended up being, you know, our pastor, who it is now, before I knew who he was, talking to me a little bit, and you know, he started giving me a little bit of background, something about himself as well. You know, how he was coming out here, getting ready to, you know, thinking about doing a church and all those things. But I still listened, and, you know, he gave me some tapes. And the tape that he gave me, I would never forget it. It was a story about Felix. It says, your soul is in your hands. And I remember looking at the cover, like, wow, your soul is in your hand. I never thought about it. I was a part of a gang when I was younger coming up. It was a well-known gang from out of Chicago, so a lot of people knew about it. I was always that one about money. That's what I was about. And the gang was not about money. It was about hurting people. It was about territories, gangster for life. And that was my mentality at the time.
Being with him is almost like the movies, like you're married to the mob. So it was kind of, you know, my husband would, you know, bring a whole bunch of money home and count it on the table, and what he would bring home sometimes is what people would make in a year.
He began to talk to us, and one of the things that stuck out to me was everything that he said. He was like, you can find this in the Bible. Everything that was said to me was in the Bible. And I was like, okay, maybe this is for real. Him and his wife, and dragged with their kids, would spend time giving us a Bible study every week faithfully. Honestly, my whole thought process began to change. I began to see all the things that I thought was a part of me I began to see the truth about it. I began to see it literally unravel in front of me. Because when I got baptized, I felt like I could do anything. I wasn't trapped. I felt like, you know, I could walk outside and I didn't have to look behind both corners. I remember getting baptized, and he said, put your hand over your wrist and hold your nose, and he said, you know, I'm gonna say some things, and then I'm gonna dip you down and just let that flow. And that was the last thing I remember. I remember going under the water, and I was speaking in tongues underwater, coming out.
The International Church would not be in this area if it wasn't for Christmas for Christ and the support of the Home Missions Division. We can't thank them enough for their vision and their efforts for church planning. Thank you.